Queenslanders are outraged this morning after a teenage boy known to authorities allegedly ran a red light in a stolen car, killing an innocent 69-year-old woman. In just 15 minutes, the 16-year-old is accused of hijacking an Audi at gunpoint, injuring two police officers and crashing the vehicle. This morning, the teen was charged with manslaughter. For more, new Queensland Premier David Crisafulli joins us live from Brisbane. Great to have you with us. So many times in your election campaign and potentially what got you the win was adult time for adult crime. Is this your first test?
Good morning, Matt. Well, the state's being tested this morning. It really is one of the most traumatic things to have to experience yesterday for the entire state, but also for that family, for police officers who are caught in the crossfires. And look, I'll obviously be very, very cautious about what I say. There's allegations and they have to be tested, but I want the state to know, a state that's grieving this morning, that change must happen and change will happen. And we spoke about adult crime, adult time, and we'll be sitting here in Parliament in the next fortnight, and I can tell you it'll be the first bit of legislation and it will be law by Christmas. That's the commitment we made, and things just must change.
You said you're going to hit the ground running. I mean, Queenslanders can't give you a pass on this one just because you're fresh to the job. Can you make a change here? And you say before Christmas. Does this include this case?
Things must change, Matt, and there's 5 key things that we've spoken about. And one of them is murder and one of them is manslaughter and another one is car theft. It has to change. And again, the allegations will be tested in a court, so they should. But Queenslanders need to know that it can't just be business as usual to wake up to a state that's been torn apart by this, and it can't go on. We can't have a situation where an innocent person just going about their life, just driving home, someone going to an art class allegedly held up with a gun. That just can't become the new normal, and I can assure you we made a commitment and I intend to honour it, and there will be new laws by Christmas.
Yeah, we'll follow up with this as that case continues. How is the family? Have you spoken to them?
It's obviously very traumatic for them and also for the police officers involved. And everyone in this case needs to know that there's an entire state that wants to wrap their arms around everyone involved in this, because we're better than this as a state. We are, and change must happen.
In terms of change, so beyond simply just locking up young crims as it stands, and not with this specific case in mind, what does your government need to do now?
Well, it's 3 things. Firstly, it's doing gold standard early intervention and giving kids hope, the ability to turn their life around. It's rehabilitation with purpose. So when a young person is inside detention, they need to get educated, they need to have discipline, and when they leave, they can't just be released to their own devices. We have to have services to try and stop them reoffending. And then at the other end of the scale, you've got to have strong laws to send a message. It's got to be about consequences for actions. And that's why I've spoken about adult crime, adult time. Every time I've spoken about the youth crime crisis in Queensland, I've always spoken about those 3 ends of the spectrum. You've got to make sure that you're intervening early, and we've spoken a lot about what that looks like. It's education, it's discipline, it's structure, it's compassion. It's about doing things differently when they're on the inside and when they're released, and it's about making sure that the worst of the worst are dealt with. And that hasn't happened for a generation, and change must occur.
Let's get it done. Our thoughts are with the family and, of course, those officers that we injured as well. David Crisafulli, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Matt.